Good morning, everybody. This is Fago Franklin III with New Stitch Media. God bless you first and foremost. We have the beautiful and talented singer, songwriter, actress, as well as author, Miss Chante Moore. First and foremost, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Uh, I cannot complain. Cannot complain. Before we get into your new projects as well as your new songs, could you give my viewers some words of encouragement for today?
Oh gosh, yesterday's gone. So enjoy today. Make the most of it. And complaining doesn't help anything because it just nobody's listening. Nobody can change a thing but you. So be prayerful. If you love Jesus, pray to Him. If you love somebody else, and pray to them. But understand that you are in control of the moments that happen. Make the most of them.
See, that's the right saying and right message. Make the most of each and every day. And talking about each and every day, how have you been adapting to this new norm in the pandemic?
It took a while. I think it took a while for all of us. Each day was, even though it was the same day again and again, I learned how to handle things differently as we went along. Um, and then a new norm is getting back out and wearing the masks everywhere and the shots and the, or not shots. It really is a very strange time, but I am a believer and I believe that, the scriptures told us that things were going to be odd and wax worse and things were going to be, um, the unexpected was going to happen. So brace yourself.
Amen to that. And you talk a lot about your faith. How has your faith molded you into the woman, singer, author, as well as role model today?
Uh, well, at the times where I've walked away from Christ are the times where I was my happiest.
Mhm.
So it's made me appreciative. It is humbling. It's the Lord is insightful. He checks me like he's my father for real, and he really is a real entity. People go, oh, this pie in the sky, this untouchable God. He isn't untouchable to me. He's as real as my dad in the next room over there. Um, he's real. So for me, it shapes everything about who I am. He made me the lover of people that I am, the lover of him that I am because he loves me so well. He taught me to give to others. He taught me to humble myself and receive. He taught me how to sing. He taught me how to give freely. He taught me everything.
Amen to that. Now, talk to me a little bit about your journey into the music industry. What inspires you to actually get into this field?
Uh, well, I love to sing. I really do love it. My family is extremely talented, always has been, and so from a child, my father is a pianist and a singer. He sounds more like Ray Charles though than like Stevie Wonder. So he's more of a moody kind of a singer, very jazzy on the keys. My mother was a singer. She passed on about 20 plus years ago. I'm just gonna bend over here and get my charger into my phone because I see it's a little low because this is not my regular phone. But I don't want to keel over in the middle of a conversation, so I'm gonna take a quick moment just to plug in. There we go.
Mhm. Perfect.
Um, so my sister is talented. She plays the guitar, the drums, the keys. She writes. She draws. She does everything. So my brother was a drummer. He passed on, I guess, 8 years ago or so. But he was a very, very great drummer, and a keyboard player and writer. So I was the youngest, so I was the last to come up in the reins. But
Mhm.
I loved to sing, so I always sang from morning to night. Had to go to school. Went to school, came back, did my homework, sang for the rest of the night till it was time to eat. Then it was sing, and then it was eat it, and then go back and sang till it was time to go to bed. However, my family was not excited about my voice. They were like, "Oh, please, God, shut up, shut up," um, which is, I make them eat those words now. But it's true. It wasn't something that they were like, "Oh, you sound great, girl. Go ahead." It was more like, "Good thing you're cute, because a singer you ain't." That was the quote. Um, it's true, but because of my love for singing, I didn't take it personally. Like, oh well, oh then I'll just stop singing. I wasn't singing for them. I was singing because I loved it. I love music. I love to sing. I love to dance. I dance around my room and I sang. So that's where it began, my love for it. At 16, a lady asked me to be Dorothy in The Wiz. And I really thought she made a mistake and meant to ask my sister because people mistook us for each other when we were younger. Um, but she said, no, no, I know who you are. I've seen you. I've seen your sister. And I want you to be Dorothy. And I was like, wow, I love a challenge. I'm pretty bold overall. And so I took the challenge, and it was a game changer for me. Like, it really was getting bitten by the bug of applause. I was like, I could deal with this. I could do it. I think I can handle it. So at 16 was when I was like, that applause thing is real. It's real. It's real. And that was also when my family was like, wow, when did you learn how to sing? How did this happen? So a lot of it in that moment. So a lot of my life changed in that time period. So that was where my love for it began.
And at a very young age, what obstacles that you had to overcome with transitioning from being a Christian person into more so of that R&B aspect? Because I know with the church, there comes a lot of scrutiny.
Yes, it does. However, my family was not critical of that. My
Hmm.
mother understood that the songs I sang were about love. I didn't go, pop that, drop it to the floor, spread this, lick that. That's not what I sing about. I sing about love. I sing about emotion. I sing about heartbreak and getting back together and the joy of love. That was what I love to sing about. And she understood, and my father understood that that's what I was doing. And I know I saw the Lord open the doors for me. And so when I know it's Him, I have confidence in where I am and where I'm going. So I didn't care what anybody else thought except what the Lord thought in my family. So
And your first album was Precious in 1992. What was that excitement when you first heard that song on the radio and then you actually saw the cover of it? What was your expression or how you were feeling at that time?
I kept every single little step of it. Like when they have they called them JPEGs, and that's when they have the little thing that goes around the tape, the cassette tape.
Hmm.
So I made a book because I like keeping. I'm a scrapbooker. I don't have time for it much like I used to, but I have every piece of that as it went moment to moment to moment in a scrapbook. The very first time I heard my voice on the radio, it was incredible. It's surreal, and it still is. It's still exciting. It still is something that doesn't get old. When you don't know it's coming on and it comes on, I'm like, ah! And so it's exciting, and it's rewarding. It's yeah, it never gets old. It just doesn't get old. And when people actually give you the nod that they like it, it's like, when you're pregnant as a woman, that's one of the best times ever when you have that baby inside you, like the whole world is really inside your belly and you feel
Hmm.
like everything's perfect. There's no judgment. You're big and nobody cares. They're like, oh, your belly is so big, you're fat and juicy. And then and when you have the baby, that's when it becomes the judgment call, oh, your baby's not cute. Oh, why are you so big? There's no point in the fatness anymore. You start judging and the judgments come. That's what it's like
Hmm.
when you deliver music to the world, is that you start thinking about, okay, how's the world going to accept that? So I really fight that urge to desire so much acceptance, as much as I know what I wrote the song for, which, each song is different, but I try to keep that in mind. I enjoy it better though before they come out.
So, what advice could you give individuals that are trying to figure out how to write a song, but they have that writer's block? How do you tell them, hey, like it's going to be okay? Or what steps do you take when you have writer's block?
If you can't write that song, write another song. Don't get stuck on one song. There's more than one song that you're going to write. So if that one's stuck, skip over it for a while and write something else or listen to something else and just wash your mind a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of time, because you can't push creativity. You can't make it be. Or find someone else to write with that can maybe spark your ideas. Um, But I would say, you know, if it don't fit right that second, don't force it. Just keep yourself in a place where you're open and moving, because it should be fun. It should be fun. It is a job, certainly, and you want to be great at it, but you don't want to force something and make it not authentic, you know?
Uh-huh. And to you, what is the hardest or part with being in this business? Is it the financial side? Is it trusting people? The perception? What is it?
The hardest part is having a job that is based on acceptance and not quality. Like if you do
Mm.
a really good job, if you're a really good doctor, you can say, okay, I have this degree. I'm going to open my practice. This is what I'm going to do. And I'll get exposed to here. And this is my degree. And I'll put it on the wall. And now I am a gynecologist, or I am a surgeon, or I am a whatever it is. And then you get a job and they pay you because you're good. And your reputation becomes, and it grows because you're good at what you do. There's so many talented people who are at home by themselves. And social media has helped that a little bit, where you have a million followers and people watching you in your living room. But that wasn't the case when I began. So it's
Mm.
improved in different ways now. But I think that's the hardest part, is not just being rewarded for being good at what you do. But I think I'm getting better at what I do. So hopefully things get better.
Do you like the investment with technology with social media? I know, as we just alluded to, about the whole perception aspect, but as far as a marketing standpoint, do you think it's a great idea to actually have all these different type of social media platforms?
Um, I don't know if it even matters what I think. It just is what it is. And we have to learn how to flow in what is. Like saying, if you don't want to wear masks, ridiculous. Why are you wasting time about thinking about whether or not you wear a mask? Wear a mask. There is social media. You use the social media. It is part of what is our job, is to get out there and reach people. So it's not about your emotion on that. It really is about taking advantage of what air and what is at your disposal. You know.
Hmm. And you have a new song that you just that just came out in September. It's actually called "The Right One." What inspired that song? And it seems like you're at peace with a lot of different things. How you feeling about this song and the peace that you have right now?
Uh, feel great. I really do feel great. I feel like it's a very timely song. It is about my life. It is about a time I felt like there was no more grace for me, or there was no more place for me, and I worried too much about too much. And I've learned to relax more and learn to accept that I'm okay. I am in the beloved. I know that God loves me. I know that I'm loved by my family, my friends, loved ones. And sometimes I've spent too much time worrying about too many things, from my children to my relationship to my job to everything, you know. And I really
Mhm.
tried to stop dealing with regret, because there's nothing I can change about yesterday. And once I really got that, it made my life a more peaceful place. I can just do the
Mhm.
best with what I've got. That's what I can do, is make the most of today, today. If it's to rest, then I'll rest. If it is to go to work, I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to give it everything I've got. Whatever it is, I'm just going to try to make the most of it. And that doesn't mean be busy and doing everything. That doesn't mean doing everything. You do everything. You do have to rejuvenate and make sure that you take good care of yourself. So the self care is important. But it's about learning from day to day just to do your best.
If you could, what new artists would you collab with?
Gosh, there's so many. I love Jasmine Sullivan. I love her voice. If she could produce a vocal like hers, that would be so much fun to try and like sing in her style. That would be so much fun.
Hmm.
Um, there's so many of them. I like Billie. I wish she has really great style. Her brother. Um, I was thinking about the other day. I was listening to Luke James. I think I want to do a duet with Luke James.
Mm.
I love Stokely. So it's a great voice. I would love to do a duet or write with him as well. Yeah, so far that's it. I like to give it the right second anyway.
Oh, no, her? No, her?
Her is really good too. I like her too. Absolutely, I love her too. I think that she has her that everyone wants to work with her. So I kind of try to stay
Mhm.
realistic. There's so many people that are working with her that her might not have time for me.
But you still a pioneer in the game. Like you established a lot of stuff in this industry. So I think she probably makes some time for you because you have done a lot of phenomenal things, not just in the music world, but just in your community too. So so I do have to ask you this. What
Thank you.
inspired
I
you to
hope
actually
so. I
write
really do strive to make
say that again? You were
to write
breaking
a
up a
book. You
little
said,
bit. Yes, ma'am.
what did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the whole question. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, got you. Now, what inspired you to actually write your own book? Was it something that you had planned, or just, hey, I'm going to do it like this, or either you wanted the world to actually understand where you were coming from in your journey?
Well, no, I kept a journal since I was 12 years old. So writing is something that's very um, natural for me.
Hmm.
That's where songs came from. Songs came from my thoughts and poems in my journal, and then those poems became songs. And then so in my journey, while I was married, I was really unhappy at that time, and I was really like telling on my husband, and I was praying to the Lord, asking Him, "Fix him, Jesus, fix him." And the Lord was like, "Oh, fix yourself." And
Hmm.
so I wrote a book as I was going through that journey of learning to really myself to see, let me stop looking at somebody else to make me happy. Let me see, if I were someone else and I was standing on the outside, if I made a list of everything I was, would I marry me? And that was where that
Hmm.
book came from, was, will I marry me? Am I all that I think I am supposed to be? Because I sure am real busy trying to make him be what I want him to be. And God was like, excuse me, lady, you need to worry about yourself. How about worry about you? Make you a better person. And then we'll see what happens once you become whole. I'll work on him, you work on you, and I'll work on you. And then if you all come to a place where you're two whole people
Hmm.
coming together, then maybe you all can make each other happy. So that's where that really came from. It wasn't really about the outside people. I was pleased in the
Hmm.
end when I put it out. However, I still think it can be written better, so I'm gonna rewrite it. But that's where that came from, is the self-examination part of that.
So I know you have been through a couple of divorces. How did you find your safe space? Again, I know you talk a lot about your faith, but at the reality of it or whatever like that, you can't really get away from this because us, ironically, media, we're always in your face. So where did you go find your safe space at?
Ain't nobody here unless you let them in the house.
Mm, mm.
This is my safe space. I'm not afraid of talking about where I've been. I'm not afraid of saying I want to talk about that. I'm not afraid to refuse to talk about something if I'm not ready. Um, by the time the media hears about a divorce, we've already gone through those steps. You know what I mean? So it was
Mhm.
all right to talk about by the time I really had to talk about it publicly, or wrote songs about, performed them before really people even understood what they were even about, you know? So it really
Mhm.
is a process that happens long before the world sees.
And my last question is, what words of encouragement could you give somebody that, has been rejected, feel down on themselves, insecure, and just trying to hold on to some type of strength or faith because they feel like they're going to lose it?
Well, I'm a believer in Jesus, and Jesus is real to me. So
Mhm.
if you are not a believer in Christ, I would say think positive thoughts, Because whatsoever man thinketh, so shall he. I would say keep a journal. Write down things that you goals that you have in mind, or good things about yourself, or things that you have planned in your own life that will be positive. Because I'm not saying you can't have a happy life without Jesus. I'm saying I cannot have a happy life without Jesus. But if you want to, he's there. God is there. He is there. Jesus is there for you. I would suggest him to everybody, and I do. But it's not my job to convince anybody that he is real and that he is alive and an entity that can be leaned on, and that he seeks us out. He love him because he loves us first, and he knows how to reach you wherever you are. And as long as you're still breathing, there's still a chance for you to find joy and find peace in your life. And there are a lot of avenues to do that. So I would just say, don't give up, no matter what happens. If you're still breathing, if it didn't kill you, then you'll make it. You're going to be okay. There's a today, and then there'll be a tomorrow. And then what you need to do is figure out how to make your tomorrow a better tomorrow. I would say try Jesus, though. That's what I say.
And a bonus question for you, I gotta ask this. So what is going on with this industry? It seems like the love and the passion of making love songs have vanished, and it's also just about sex. What is going on with this industry, and how do we change to go back into music that feels so good? I know we have an artist by the name of Bruno Mars that is bringing some of that back, but what is going on with this industry, and how do we get it back?
We make hits. We make the musicians. We make music. The world makes it a hit or not. So it isn't the industry. It's about what we purchase. It's what we support the people. And if we keep buying music about booty popping and sex and spreading your legs, or whatever it is that is a powerful or successful song, then that's what's going to stay successful, and that's what's going to be sold. If we support the artists that are singing music that isn't about that, then that's what's going to be popular. It is about what we say is popular is popular. It is the popular opinion. And so that's the only way it's going to change, is if we, as the consumer, purchases and supports the artist that sings something different than what you're talking about. Those people are making hits because we make them hits as people, as the supporters. We support that. That's what we support.
Amen to that. Before I let you go, where can my viewers actually find your new song, as well as what you're doing and the latest of what you're doing?
It's on every streaming platform right now, right this moment. And my social media, my Instagram is I am Chante Moore with a C, ChanteMoore, 2 O's is what I meant to say, double O's. On Facebook, it's Chante Moore Fans. A lot of other pages, those are not mine. There are people who have stolen my pages and created others, and a lot of fake pages are up there. Chante Moore Fans. If I've asked you to be a friend on there, that's not me. Because fan page is just, you can just be a fan. On Twitter, I don't Twitter that much. I don't tweet. But I am Chante Moore. And I think that's about it. The ChanteMoore.com is me. The website is not as active as I want it to be, but it is there.
Okay.
And you can find iTunes and Apple Music. More.
Awesome. And you can find me on Instagram at superjournalist87, Facebook, Fago Franklin III. You can hit that Google search engine, put in Fago Franklin III. All your favorite celebrities, athletes, as well as media personalities up there that I have interviewed. And you can actually follow me on LinkedIn or either my website, which is newstitchmedia.com. Again, thank you, Ms. Chante Moore, for just coming on here and expressing, your journey as well as your new single.
Thank you very much for having me here. I appreciate it very much.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely have a blessed one, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am. All right, now.